Good afternoon. My name is RONNIE, EDURIA, a student nurse from Our Lady of FATIMA University. Today, I'm going to perform an assessment about heart and neck vessels. So, good afternoon, sir. My name is RONNIE, EDURIA, your student nurse for today. I'm going to assess you about heart and neck vessels. So, first, I'm going to ask you some question po, sir, regarding to your heart and neck vessels po. So, your current symptoms po, meron po ba kayong chest pain? How about palpitation? Dizziness? Swollen ankles? Sa past history niyo naman po, meron po ba kayong heart problems? Previous na-diagnose po ba kayo ng hypertension, elevated cholesterol, and diabetes? Nagkaroon na po kayo ng heart surgery? So, sa family history niyo po, meron po bang may hypertension, myocardial infarction? How about coronary heart disease? Elevated cholesterol and diabetes? About sa lifestyle naman po tayo. Nagsigarilyo po ba kayo, sir? Lagi po ba kayo stress? About, nagda-diet po ba kayo o nag-exercise? Uminom po ba kayo ng alcohol? How about sa sleep routine? Lagi po ba kayo napupuyat? Gumagamit po ba kayo ng medication in your heart? Nag-set monitoring po ba kayo ng blood pressure? Meron po bang kaiba sa inyo sexual activity? Sir, verify ko lang po. What's your name po?
JEFFERSON.
How about the age?
19 years.
So today po, sir, I'm going to assess you on your heart and neck vessels po. So I'm going to touch some parts of your body, if that's okay lang po. So, okay, let's start. Before we start po, I'm going to perform a proper hygiene and put my gloves on. And magpapalit po kayo na patient gown po, sir. So, yung patient po, nakasuot na po sa kanyang gown. So, I'm going to start the assessment po, sir. So first, I'm going to auscultate your carotid arteries po. For Brooks po. I hear your breathing sound too, sir, and there is no whistling. That's good po, sir. So next, I'm going to palpate your carotid artery po. So your pulse sir is normal po. It is 2+, and also the rate is on the normal limit po. Your skin is smooth, no sign of skin lesion po. So I'm going to inspect your jugular veins pulse po. Tagilid po kayo dito. How about kabila? It is in a good position po. Naka-align po siya ng maayos, which is normal po. Next, after the inspection po, sir, I'm going to measure your jugular venous pressure po. measurement of your jugular vein pressure po, it is normal po. It is in good condition po. So next, after the neck vessels po, we're going to proceed to your heart. So, I'm going to inspect your visible pulsation, sir. Next, I'm going to palpate the optical pulse for location, size, and strength and duration of pulsation. Next, I'm going to palpate for abnormal pulsation. After that po, sir, I'm going to auscultate naman po, sir, with your heart sound for location, strength, value. So next, I'm going to auscultate naman po yung left lateral position niya po. Medyo din po kayo makapiso. We're done to the assessment po. So, as I assess you po, normal naman po lahat ng findings ko sa inyong neck. Yung jugular venous pulse niyo po, which normal po. Nakaline po siya. And the measurement po, which is normal po. Normal din po. In a good condition din po. Pati yung pinalpate ko po yung carotid artery nyo, it is normal po. 2 plus. The pulse po is 2 plus, which is normal. The rate is on normal limit din po. So, sa heart nyo naman po, narinig ko po na maayos yung pulsation, which is maganda pong sinyalis yun kasi ibig sabihin po, wala po tayong problema sa heart and normal lang po yung pagkakabit niya ng love puso. So, if you feel any abnormalities or strange po about sa inyong heart and neck vessel po, you can go to some specialist po to prevent for some further complication po, sir. So, we're done to the assessment po. Thank you for your participation po.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Jefferson SABADO, your student nurse from Our Lady of Fatima University. How are you feeling now, sir?
I'm fine.
Alright, I will just perform hand hygiene to avoid the transmission of harmful germs and to prevent infections. Okay, so I am just closing the curtain, sir, to ensure your confidentiality and safety. Now I'm going to wear my gloves. Okay, sir. So, just for a verification, could you please verify your name?
My name is Ronnie.
How about your age and birthday?
I'm 20 years old and I'm born in August 8, 2000.
Okay, so what would you like me to call you?
Ronnie.
So, Sir Ronnie, I will be checking on your arms and legs, and for me to assess those areas, I'd like to request your consent to touch certain parts of your bodies. That will be for you, sir.
Yes.
So, okay, so rest assured that all this information will be kept strictly confidential between me and the attending physician to whom I will be referring. So, do you have any clarifications or concerns that you want to ask me? Alright, so now before we begin the assessment of your peripheral vascular system, I will ask you some questions regarding your present health concern, okay? So, do you have noticed any color, temperature, or texture changes in your skin? Okay, so do you experience pain or cramping in your legs? Okay, do you have any swelling in your legs or feet? No. Alright, so do you have any swollen glands or lymph nodes?
No.
Okay, so do you have any leg veins that are rope-like, bulging, or contorted? So that's good. So I will ask you some questions regarding your past health history, family history, and your lifestyle and health preferences. So have you had any heart or blood vessel surgeries or treatments? Okay, so do you or does your family have a history of diabetes, hypertension, coronary heart disease, intermittent claudication, or elevated cholesterol or triglyceride levels? So, do you smoke cigarettes or use any form of tobacco? Okay, so describe any problems you had in the past with the circulation in your arms and legs. Okay, so do you exercise regularly, sir? So we can proceed with the first part of our assessment, which is inspection and palpation of the arms of our patient. So, can you please raise your hand like this, sir? Okay, so I am looking for the size and venous pattern and also more in detail. Now I'm going to observe the coloration of the hands and arms. So I observe that your arms are equal in size, no swelling, pinkish skin tone, and no clubbing of fingertips. Now I'm going to palpate closer. So I'm going to palpate your fingers, hand and arms, and note for the temperature. So, as I assess for the temperature, I'm going to use the dorsal back of my hand, okay, to detect the temperature. So, can you raise your hand, sir? Okay, very good. Next. That your both hands and skin is warm to touch bilaterally from fingertips to upper arms. And now I'm going to palpate to assess capillary refill time. Okay. Next, sir. So, as I assess the capillary beds refill, and therefore the color returns in 2 seconds or less. So now I'm going to palpate your radial pulse pulsar. Okay, next one. So as I assess or as I palpate your radial pulses, it is both bilaterally strong and I give you 3 plus. Normally, the artery walls have a resilient quality or bounce. Now I'm going to palpate the ulnar pulse. So there is any sudden pain also. Alright, so as I assess your ulnar pulses, your both ulnar pulses may not be detectable, but that is normal. So now I'm going to palpate the brachial pulses and suspect any arterial insufficiency. Okay, so I am looking for the presence of arterial insufficiency. Is there anything? Okay, next one. Is there anything else? Okay, very good. So, brachial pulses have equal strength bilaterally, which is normal po. And so, sir, I'm going to palpate your epitrochlear lymph nodes. Can you bend your knees in 90 degrees like this, sir? Okay, very good. Is there any sudden pain? Okay, how about this one? Is there anything else? Okay, so normally your epitrochlear lymph nodes are not palpable, which is normal naman po. So now I'm going to perform the Allen's test. So in performing the Allen's test, the test begins by assessing ulnar patency. Have the client rest the hand palm side up on the examination table and make a fist. Then use your thumb to occlude the radial and ulnar arteries. Continue pressure to keep both arteries occluded and have the client release the fist. Note that the palm remains still and release the pressure on the ulnar artery and watch for color return to hand. To assess radial patency, repeat the procedure as before, but at the last step, release pressure on the radial artery. So I will be performing for the Allen's test. Can you raise your hand like this? Okay, so I'm looking for the radial patency, sir. Okay, close your fingers, sir. And then release. Alright. And now I'm looking for the ulnar patency, sir. Release. Next, hand po. Radial patency, sir. Close your fingers and then release. Okay, in the ulnar patency, sir. Close your fingers and then release. So, I observe a pink coloration returns to the palms within 5 seconds in both the ulnar and radial patency. Okay, so now I will be assessing the lower extremities of my patient. So I will be palpate and percuss your legs, sir. Is that okay? higher and weight, sir. Okay, so I'm looking for the skin color and inspecting both legs from the toes, from the groin. Okay, so there is no changes of pigmentation. Now I'm going to inspect the distribution of hair. So your hair covers the skin of the legs and appears on the dorsal surface of the legs. Okay, so I will be inspecting the lesions or ulcers. Okay, so can you bend your both the other one? I observe that your both legs are free of lesions and ulcerations. Now I'm going to inspect for it. Can you raise your both legs? Okay. So I observe that your both legs are identical in size and shape bilaterally, no swelling or atrophy. So now I'm going to palpate bilaterally for the temperature of the feet and legs. For temperature, I'm going to use the dorsal back of my hands again to detect the temperature of both legs of my patient. Okay, so I observe that your toes, feet, and legs are equally warm bilaterally. Now I'm going to palpate the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Okay, so as I palpate your superficial inguinal lymph nodes, it is non-tender, movable lymph nodes up to 1 or even 2 centimeter are located, which is normal. Okay, so now I'm going to palpate your femoral pulses. So as I palpate your femoral pulses, your femoral pulses strong and equal bilaterally. Now I'm going to auscultate the femoral pulses. Okay, so I observe that there is no sounds auscultated over the femoral arteries. Now I'm going to palpate the popliteal pulses. Can you raise your both legs po? Okay. Is there any pain po, sir? Okay na po, sir. Balik na po sa ating position. And now, I observe that there are no absent pulsations upon palpation. That is normal. And now I'm going to palpate the dorsalis pedis muscle. Can you raise your right hand here? And so, is there any sudden pain po? Okay, next. the dorsalis pedis pulses, it is bilaterally strong. Now I'm going to palpate the posterior tibial pulses. Can you raise your both feet? Okay. As I palpate the posterior tibial pulses, it is also bilaterally strong, which is normal po. So, can you please stand closer to inspect the varicosities and thrombophlebitis. So, what I am looking here is if there is any sign of varicosities and the presence of thrombophlebitis. Can you turn around, sir? Okay, next one. Turn around. Turn around. And then back to the position of B. So back in your bed na po, sir. Okay, so as I observe, the veins are flat and barely seen under the surface of the skin, which is normal. So now, there is a special test for arterial or venous insufficiency. Aside from that, I will performing the position change test for arterial insufficiency. Okay, so can you raise your both legs closer? Okay. Okay, and then dangle your feet po. Okay, is there anything closer? So can you please sit closer? Can you raise your right foot closer? Okay, and then dangle it. Is there any pain closer? Okay, next one. Can you dangle it again, sir? Okay, very good. And then turn to your position. Okay, so as I observe, there is no pallor and persistent rubor, or what we call the dusty redness of the toes, the feet, and the legs. And then, while observing, when you performing the dangles test, while in the sit position, I observe that a pinkish color returns to the tips of the toes in 10 seconds or less, and then the superficial veins on top of the feet fill in 15 seconds or less. So that is normal. And now we are not going to perform a myelin compression test or a what we call the Trendelenburg test, because I observed that you had no apparent varicosities or superficial thrombophlebitis on both legs. So we will be moving on to the analysis of data. There are no abnormal results in your arms and legs based on the assessment data. If you notice any signs or symptoms around your arms and legs in the future, go to the nearest health clinic or hospital and see a vascular surgeon if you notice any of the symptoms for medical diagnosis and treatment. So we are done assessing our patient's peripheral vascular system. So do you have any concerns and clarifications that you want to ask me? No. Alright, sir. Thank you for participating in this assessment. God bless you.
Good afternoon. I'm a student from Our Lady of Fatima University. So today, I'm going to perform a physical assessment of the abdomen. So sir, can I ask your name, age, and your birth date po?
I'm Jefferson Sabado. I'm 19 years old. I was born August 30, 2000.
So today, I'm going to ask your abdomen po. So I'm going to inspect, auscultate, and percuss, and also palpate your abdomen part of your body. Is that okay lang po? So before we start, I'm going to interview about your current symptoms, past history, family history, and lifestyle and health practice. So, nakakaranas po ba kayo ng abdominal pain in present?
No.
So, other symptoms present such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, appetite changes, and constipation po. So, yung recent po, nag-weight gain po kayo or loss?
Loss.
So, we're going to proceed to your past history po. So, in previous po, nagkaroon po ba kayo ng abdominal surgery, trauma, injury, medications? So, sabi nyo nga po, wala po kayong abdominal pain, so wala rin pong treatment talaga na. So, sumailalim po ba kayo sa lab work on gastrointestinal studies po? Family history naman po. Meron po bang nagkaroon ng stomach, colon, or liver cancer po? Abdominal pain, appendicitis, colitis, bleeding, or hemorrhoids po? Meron po bang person na responsible for your nutrition in your family po?
My parents.
Okay, let's going to proceed to your lifestyle and health practice po, sir. So, nag-i-smoke po ba sila?
No.
How about drink alcohol?
Sometimes.
Marami po ba? Mayroon po ba kayo sinusunod na diet? Nagkakaroon po ba kayo ng acidity?
Sometimes when I drink some caffeine.
Nai-stress po ba kayo at naaapektuhan nito yung pagkain nyo?
Sometimes.
Nagkakaroon po ba ng fast action on your abdominal pain or problems?
Sometimes when I eat some foods.
Okay po. So, before I start the assessment, I'm gather my equipment and also I want to explain the procedure tama sila. So, okay, you are already on gown. So, I'm just do proper hiking and put my hands on the gloves. So, as a start of the assessment, I'm going to inspect the skin, noting color, vascularity, and striae, scars, and lesions. So, sir, may I inspect your abdominal area po, sir? So, I'm going to inspect for umbilicus, noting color, location of contour. So, inspect the symmetry of the abdomen. Inspect for the abdominal movement, noting respiratory and movement of aortic pulsation and the peristaltic waves. After the inspection, I'm going to proceed to the auscultation. So, first, I'm going to auscultate for vowel sound, noting intensity, pitch, and frequency. So, I'm going to use my stethoscope. First, in the lower part, lower right quadrant, and do a clockwise movement. Next, I'm going to auscultate for vascular sound and friction. To auscultate the vascular sounds and friction, we're going to use the bell part of the stethoscope. We're done to auscultation. Now we're going to proceed for percussion of the abdomen or tone. So, auscultate the liver and the spleen. So, after that, I'm going to perform a blunt percussion on the liver and the kidney. Sir, can you sit? To do a blunt percussion, I'm going to use my right fist to strike my left hand. We're done na po, sir. Nalay down na po. So, we are done to percussion. Now, I'm going to perform a light palpation, noting for tenderness and guarding in all quadrants. Do you feel any pain or tenderness po, sir? So, now I'm going to perform a deep palpation, noting for tenderness or masses in all quadrants. Do you feel any tenderness or pain po? I see there is no muscles. So, I'm going to palpate the umbilicus. Next, the aorta. Next, I palpate the liver, noting for consistency and tenderness. Palpate the spleen. Can you side by two, sir? Do you feel any pain po, sir? Wait na po. So, palpate for kidney. I'm going to palpate your left and right kidney, sir. So, palpate the urinary bladder. So I'm not going to perform a test for shifting dullness and perform the fluid weight test because I don't see any symptoms or signs of ascites to my patient po. So I'm going to proceed to ballotment test po. Lastly, I'm going to perform the test for appendicitis, rebound tenderness, closing site po. Do you feel anything po? That's the end of our assessment. So I'm going to proceed for analysis of data. So I see the abdomen is less than 102 cm. It is normal. The abdomen is flat, symmetrical, with no bulging, swelling, discoloration, and the skin is intact. The tympani is over the stomach, epigastric area, and upper midline, and dullness over the liver, over the bladder, and the chest, and the left lower quadrant over the sigmoid colon. And also as I palpate, there is no masses and tenderness while I palpate of the abdominal area. So if you feel any sign or any signs of ascites or any abnormalities, you go some specialist to prevent further complication. Sir, that's the end of our assessment. Thank you for participating.